Good morning from Easier Habits, your favorite 8 a.m. Central Business live stream. Today we are talking about what we've learned from the first week of doing our 5-day challenge as a marketing tool to find new clients.
Yay! So yeah, first 5 days. Well, it took me a couple of days after the first day to actually get into it, or to get back to it. But I was able to get day 2 done, or get my day 2 live stream done. I still have a couple of things to post. But yeah, things that I've learned. Again, one that we talked about yesterday. It'd be nice to get this automated so I don't have to think about it. And then I think the other thing is just as much as I've done, live coaching and classes and other things like that, it feels different to my brain when I'm doing it for marketing purposes. And just recognizing that that's where the resistance is coming from. When I'm like, it's just like any other video that I've done, or live stream or class or anything like that. But for some reason, that kind of like mental pressure of like, oh, this is the thing to get clients or something. I don't know. And so I think that's kind of one of the biggest things, is that if I can reframe it as, this is just what I do, I'm just happening to do it in a format that kind of puts it together and is specifically for getting clients, then it's a lot easier than like, I have to do like a commercial or whatever. It's not that. It's just sharing my stuff.
Yeah.
So
is it the attachment to outcomes, right? When you're normally teaching, if you have a job or whatever, like nothing happens at the end of a lesson, right?
Well, except like student learning.
Hopefully students learn, but like really, like you're not gonna make more money because of what they've learned, or not, right? There's no outcome for you in the lesson.
Yeah.
Or is it that you're uncomfortable inviting people to visit your business?
I think it's almost closer to the first one, but almost kind of like the reverse. So I'm used to having very specific outcomes, right, for my clients, which is an outcome for them. With this, it's an outcome for me. So kind of like the first one, I guess, more is that I'm not used to having outcomes for myself within lessons. And so having that role be reversed, having the outcome be for me rather than my clients, which is why I have to think of it more as, this is just what I do.
Yeah.
I'm just providing value, right?
Well,
with also the ask. I guess it's all of it.
Yeah. So remember to do the ask, but like, invite them to know more. But I think focusing on the outcome for them is a good focus, right? So like, how are they doing with their progress towards their 1-minute pitch video?
So yeah, a couple of people have PM'd me. They don't want to share with the group. Which I'm like, okay, that's fine. Which I get, but it does make it harder as far as the automated, thing, if people are sending things to me privately. So that's good. I'm, again, in spite of having 12 people signed up initially and then one person dropped out, I've really still only had like 4 people engaging regularly, which is kind of like, okay, well, I guess that's to be expected, even when people say they're going to do something. I think also, especially when it's a free thing, I know that's a thing that happens a lot, is when people pay for it, they have a tendency to be even more engaged because it's costing them something, as opposed to, oh yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
And then just like, or I'll do it later or something like that. So, yeah, but I forget, what was the question? My brain's a little bit scattered.
And so how are they doing in their progress with some 1-minute pitch video?
Yeah, so the 4 that have been engaging regularly are right on track, which is great. Other ones have like talked about like the topic, but it's hard to get them to kind of specify what they're going to do it about. But the one that I just did, will hopefully get them closer to that. I revised it a little bit based on the feedback or kind of the results I've seen from day one. So originally I had I was going to do this, full structure of a VSL, and the 4 that are being really engaged, I'm like, okay, you are not ready for all of this yet. And so taking a step back, making it a little bit easier, having them, okay, go watch, here's a bunch of examples of things that are good resources, and then figure out what your 30 seconds is going to be, because I'm having them think small, because that's going to be easier, I think, for them. And then start videotaping something. It doesn't matter what it is. It can be, just like you testing out your camera, doing selfie, figuring out which filters you want to use, or you walking around to see if you can hold your camera without shaky cam effect or something like that, or something so that they have that experience of doing it before we get to, because that was going to be part of day 4, was going to be some more videotaping, but I was like, no, they need videotaping that's not the content, that's just taking a video.
Interesting.
Which it was actually something that I got from day 1 of doing it, of taking my own video, because it took me way longer to set up just my live stream than I thought it should have. And I had issues doing the day 2 one, but that was internet connectivity stuff. It wasn't the actual thing. So I'm like, okay, that would be a good step for them to have if they're making a video. Practice taking video, because a lot of people don't have that experience. So
sure. Yeah, good thing to know. And so, I mean, it seems like, all right, focus on then getting them there to that video, which is what you're doing, and treat the invitation plan out what your invitation is, but treat it as a checkbox. I need to say that.
Yes. And I think that right there is a good way to simplify, because for me, when I have any kind of imposed pressure, my brain tends to complicate things unnecessarily. Partially as a defense mechanism to, freak out myself so that I will put it off until later, as opposed to just dealing with it and figuring it out. And so having those check boxes for me and for them, okay, here's what you're doing today, right? And then for myself, here's what I'm doing today. Okay, I've got to do that, this, that. Okay, we're done. And then that takes away the complexity of it. And then I can deal with each line item at a time.
Great.
Yep.
So a lot of learning. Is it as smooth as you thought it would be?
Of course not.
Yeah.
But the first of anything is not nearly as smooth, I think, as you think it's going to be. And I feel like it's been good as a great rough go of things, so that I can hone it for myself for when it is automated. The lives that I've been doing have been good just to get it out there. But, I do want to take actual video of me doing a thing. And having done the live streams, now I know, okay, that was extraneous. This was good. I want to make sure I remember to add that thing in. And it'll be a lot easier for making this a thing that can run on its own. Yeah.
And I mean, so before we automate, one of the things, that is the end goal. But what you want to make sure of that is actually working for people, right?
Yes,
and
for
so
sure.
We're going to run it a few times smoothly, and, have testimonials where people are getting results, etc. And then once it's working for people, we'll automate that version of the curriculum.
Definitely. But taking notes as I go so I don't forget those things.
Sure, absolutely.
For me is super helpful.
Yeah, well, an update, because we're going to be running this a few times.
Yay!
All right.
With the awkward clap.
Awkward clap. Anyway, if this is helpful, if you have questions or comments, just say that down below. We'd love to hear from you. Like and subscribe if you want to hear the ins and outs of learning marketing as a solopreneur, small business. We're trying to form a community here of entrepreneurs who are learning and growing together, where you get a full picture of not only the rosy side of entrepreneurship, but the daily struggles, from the technical issues and health issues and figuring out marketing issues. So,
yep. Right.
Alrighty. Until tomorrow, make big changes one small habit at a time.
Monday.
Well, I guess until Monday. Fine. You can keep building habits over the weekend.
No.